Picture this. It's a Tuesday morning. You pour your coffee. You check your phone. And the CEO of one of the biggest tech companies on earth is on every screen, saying the same sentence: "What we're building might be too dangerous for humanity." And here's the strange part. The market doesn't crash. Investors don't run. They line up. That same week, that same company files for one of the largest public offerings in history. $1 trillion. For a product its own creator just called dangerous. Now, I know what you're thinking. That makes no sense. Nobody sells fear and gets rich off it. Stick with me, because that's exactly what's happening. And by the end of this video, you're going to see something uncomfortable. Your name is already in this story. Your job, your savings, your retirement. You're in the deal, and you never signed anything. One more thing before we start. Remember this name, David. 51 years old. Ohio. We'll come back to him, because what happened to David at his kitchen table is this entire story, compressed into one morning. If you want the honest version of how money and power actually work, not the press release version, subscribe. That's what we do here, every week. Okay, let's start with the official story. Because to understand the trick, you have to hear it the way it's meant to be heard. The official story goes like this. A group of brilliant scientists builds a machine that can think. The machine gets smarter every month, faster than anyone predicted. And the people closest to it, the ones who built it, start getting nervous. They say it's learning to improve itself. They say we're approaching a point of no return. So they do something no company ever does. They ask everyone to stop. Pause the race. For humanity's sake. And I'll be honest with you, the first time I heard it, part of me wanted to believe it. It's a beautiful story. The scientist with a conscience. The company that chooses people over profit. It's the story we've been waiting for someone in tech to finally tell. There's just one problem. The same week that company begged the world to pause, it shipped a brand new product. Bigger, faster, more powerful than anything before it. Read that again. This technology is too dangerous to develop. And then, they developed it, announced it, priced it, sold it. Let me bring this down to your street. Imagine your neighbor knocks on your door, pale, shaking, and says, "My car is too dangerous to drive. The brakes could fail at any moment. Nobody should drive cars like mine." And then, every single morning, you watch him get in that car and drive it with a smile. At some point, you stop listening to his words and you start watching his hands. That's what this video is. We're going to stop listening to the words and watch the hands. Because when you do that, the entire AI race stops looking like a science story. It starts looking like a money story. And there's one force underneath all of it. One word that explains the warnings, the timing, the $1 trillion filing, and David's worst morning. Incentives. Not what a company believes. What a company is paid to believe. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to run an audit. 3 statements. 3 places where the money tells a different story than the microphone. The first one explains why fear is the cheapest advertising ever invented. The second explains why the leader of a race is always the one asking for a pause. And the third one is the door nobody talks about. It has a number behind it. A number these companies need you to never look at. And I'll tell you right now, when you see that number, everything else in this story snaps into place. We'll get there. But first, statement number 1. What does fear actually sell? Think about the last time you saw a headline that said, "Too dangerous to release." What did your brain do with that sentence? Be honest. It didn't hear a warning. It heard a promise. Too dangerous is just too powerful, wearing a safety vest. And too powerful is the single greatest product description ever written. No ad budget on earth can buy what one frightened quote from a CEO gets for free. Every news channel, every podcast, every dinner table, repeating your product's name with awe in their voice. Think about your own house for a second. When was the last time you talked about a dishwasher ad at dinner? Never. But the machine that might end the world. That one made it to your table, to your group chat, to this video. The fear walked into your kitchen for free. Fear isn't the warning label. Fear is the marketing. And here's where it gets clever. Because a normal company has to convince you its product works. A company selling fear only has to convince you its product is scary. And scary is so much easier to sell. Nobody fact-checks a nightmare. Now, statement number 2. What does fear regulate? This one took me a while to see, and when I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Ask yourself a simple question. In any race in history, who benefits from freezing the race? Not the runner in last place. He needs time to catch up. The runner in first. When the company leading the AI race calls for a global pause, that pause doesn't erase its lead. It freezes it. Like stopping a marathon while you're a mile ahead and calling it fairness. And bring that down to your block for a second. It's like the only guy in the neighborhood with a snowplow asking the city to ban snowplows, for safety. Guess who you're paying to clear your driveway every winter, forever? That's what safety rules look like when the leader writes them. Every competitor behind, the startups, the open source labs, the kid in a garage, gets locked out. And the price you pay never comes down again. There's an old phrase for this. Pulling up the ladder behind you. You climb to the top. And then you tell everyone climbing is dangerous. And I know, that sounds cynical. Maybe too cynical. Maybe this time the fear is real. Maybe this company is different. Except, we've seen this exact play before. Same script. Same words. Almost nobody remembers. 7 years ago. 2019. Another AI lab, the most famous one in the world at the time, built a text model and announced it was too dangerous to release. Too dangerous. Those exact words. Headlines everywhere. Experts on TV. The world held its breath. And then, they released it. And nothing happened. No collapse. No chaos. The too dangerous model became a footnote. Today it looks like a toy. But here's what did happen. That lab became the most talked about name in technology. The fear evaporated. The fame stayed. And a few years later, that same lab was worth more than most countries' entire stock markets. The danger was temporary. The valuation was permanent. So when you hear the same script in 2026, we're getting dangerously close, everyone must stop. You're not hearing a new warning. You're hearing a rerun. A play that already worked once, performed by an industry that watched it work. Quick pause. And I'm genuinely curious about this one. Drop it in the comments. Had you ever connected those two moments? 2019 and now. Or does this feel like the first time anyone said it out loud? And if this is landing for you, hit the like. It genuinely tells me to make more of these. Okay. Statement 3. The invisible door. The one with the number behind it. Because here's the question that's been sitting under this whole video, and it's time to ask it directly. If the technology is so revolutionary, so powerful it might end the world, why is nobody making money? Not less money than expected. I mean, the leading AI companies, the ones warning us about superintelligence, are losing money. And I need you to feel the scale of this, because billions is just a word. Some of these companies burn through more money before lunch on a Monday than you will earn in your entire working life. Every paycheck you'll ever receive, from your first job to your last, gone, before noon, on electricity and chips. And then they do it again on Tuesday. Every day. 7 days a week. Picture a bathtub. The faucet is investor money, pouring in. The drain is wide open, and it's getting wider. Training each new model costs more than the last. The only way to keep the water level up is to make the faucet pour harder. More investors. Bigger checks. Faster. And what makes an investor pour harder? Not a profit report. They don't have one. A story. The biggest story ever told. We are building God. And it's almost here. It's so close it scares even us. Now hold that image, the bathtub, the drain, and look at the timing one more time. The warning about dangerous AI, and the $1 trillion public offering, in the same season. That's not a contradiction. That's a deadline. When a company that loses billions a year goes public, it's doing one thing: finding new water for the bathtub. And the fear, the beautiful, terrifying, headline-grabbing fear, is the sales brochure. The scariest number in artificial intelligence isn't in any research paper. It's in the cash flow statement. But numbers are abstract. So let me keep my promise. Let me tell you about David. David is 51. Lives outside Columbus, Ohio. 23 years at the same company, customer operations. Not glamorous work. Real work. He knows the systems nobody else knows. He trained half the floor. There's a coffee mug on his desk that says, "World's okayest dad." His daughter gave it to him when she was 9. It's been there longer than most of his co-workers. Last spring, his company announced an AI transformation. David did what loyal people do. He learned the tools. He stayed late. He even trained the software, answered its questions, corrected its mistakes, fed it 23 years of knowledge. In October, the email came. Subject line, organizational update. 4 paragraphs. His badge stopped working by Friday. He carried the mug home in a cardboard box and put it in a kitchen cabinet, behind the glasses. He couldn't look at it. And here's the part one can't shake. The next morning, David is at his kitchen table. Same table where he helped his kids with homework for 2 decades, and he opens the news on his phone. There's his company. The headline, stock jumps 8% on AI-driven efficiency gains. 8%. 23 years of his life, converted into a single green arrow on someone else's screen. The market didn't punish the company for cutting David. The market rewarded it. That's the hidden force, made visible. The incentive doesn't care what's true about AI. It pays for one thing, the story that machines replace people. Every layoff announced, because of AI, whether the AI actually works or not, makes the stock go up. So companies announce them. Again and again. People like David. People like you. And now the invoice arrives, because this audit ends at your table, not theirs. When a firm replaces a worker with software, it keeps 100% of the savings. But that worker was also a customer. He bought groceries, a car every few years, his daughter's braces. Fire enough Davids, and there's nobody left at the checkout line, including the checkout line of the company that fired them. Infinite productivity. Zero demand. That's not an economy. That's a snake eating its own tail. And the strangest part, companies poured roughly $30 billion into these AI projects, and by one major study, about 95% saw no measurable return. Nothing. Imagine renovating your entire kitchen, and the stove never turns on. That's the gap between the story and the receipts. So who covers the gap? Look at the $1 trillion offering one more time. When those shares go on sale, at the very top of the excitement, guess whose money buys them? Pension funds. Retirement accounts. Index funds. Check your statement. There's a real chance you're already invested in this race. You never signed anything, but you're in the deal. Now, here's where most videos sell you something. A course on surviving AI. A stock pick. A date for the crash. I'm not going to do that. I don't know when the music stops. Nobody does. And anyone who tells you they know the date, check what they're selling, because they're selling you a seat. I'm not here with an answer. I'm here with a question. The same one this whole video has been circling. Not, is the machine dangerous? But, who profits from your fear, and what is your fear costing you? Because that's the thing about incentives. They don't need anyone to lie. They just need everyone to look in one direction, up, at the scary machine, while the money moves in the other. So the next time a billionaire stands at a microphone and tells you his own product might end the world, don't ask whether he believes it. Ask what he's paid to believe. The race was never about the machine. It was about the incentive to keep you afraid of it. Sit with that, and be honest with me in the comments. When you hear, too dangerous, do you believe the warning, or do you check what's for sale? I read every answer, and your take might shape the next video. If this changed how you see the headlines, the like button is right there. And speaking of the next video, it's on your screen right now. We follow the money one level deeper, into who actually owns these companies. It picks up exactly where this one leaves off. I'll see you there.